Welcome, Taurus and Taurus cross watchers, to your full moon in lunar eclipse in Taurus in your sign. So that's happening on October 28th. Whoops. All right. So we have the Two of Pentacles reversed and the Four of Wands. Taurus, it feels like you may be going through something. I'm not going to lie to you. And I feel like it's almost like there's a choice that's to be made, right? It's like either you can go into a place that seems like it'll be very challenging, or you can go somewhere that seems like it'll be kind of happy and joyful. It feels like it's almost like the one choice, you feel like you should go, you feel like there's a certain obligation to do that, but the other choice is actually where you want. It's almost the energy of like, you feel like you have an obligation to choose this option because it's almost like it would be the right thing to do. It would be like, I'm hearing the pious thing to do. I know that word, but I can't quite remember the meaning of it, so I hope it makes sense. But it's like, but this is what you've worked for. It's almost the energy of like, may not be the actual situation, but it's like you've worked really hard to be in a certain place in your life and somebody else didn't. And it's like either you can choose to help them and get into the trenches with them, or you can enjoy what you've earned. May not be but it's that kind of very different energy. So we're going to get into it. What does Taurus need to know about the Four of Wands choice? I mean, we have the Nine of Pentacles here, which of course that's that pre-Empress energy, and Empress is your card in the Major Arcana. So I feel like it's almost like if you choose this option that seems happier and more joyful, it doesn't feel like there's any guilt that comes with it. It's almost like, I want to say part of you feels that you should feel guilty, but it's not even that, right? It feels more that it's unfair that this person wants to put their problem, like they created a problem and now they want to put fixing that problem on your shoulders. And it feels very unfair. Can we get one on the Two of Pentacles side? We have the Eight of Cups with the Ten of Coins or Ten of Pentacles. So this is what it kind of feels like, Taurus. This may be a specific read. I'm just going to say it because it feels like it's going towards a specific direction. I try to keep the general reads pretty open, but it is what it is. Taurus, I feel like there's an option here. It's like either you choose to be with people that have accomplished what you've accomplished, or I feel like, or you choose this partner here. It may be a business partner, it may be a friend, it may be romantic, whatever it is. It's like, or either you choose this person and you choose love, but it's like, it's not impossible, but there's going to be some work to get this person to where you are. I do feel like if there's some sort of vice that they have been using, that they plan to walk away from it. It feels like this person is going to do everything that they can to kind of attract you over. I feel like this person's going to do absolutely everything in their power to show you that they've changed. I'm just not so sure you're going to be interested. Okay, hold on. We're going to get this deck. Knight of Swords. I mean, the Knight of Swords usually talks about things moving really quickly, right? It's someone that is honest, or at least to what they perceive to be true, but it's also someone that can come in and be very curt and direct and almost very cutting, right? And I feel like I'm not trying to be unkind to this person, but I feel like whatever's been going on, it's been a lot. I feel like it's been a lot for you to carry, a lot for you to handle. I feel like this person is somebody that, like, if they're hangry, everybody knows. Everybody pays for it, right? It's like, I feel like it's the kind of person that if something is going wrong in their life, they bring that home. And it feels like it's almost like even just being out of their presence, out of their energy, right? Let's say the two of you live together and you choose to go over to a friend's house. It's like even being at that friend's house, it's like you feel like you're back to yourself again. Even just having that little bit of a break. And I feel like you start the ball rolling for some sort of kind of like practical new beginning. It doesn't feel like you're hiding anything from them or anything like that. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Look at that with the Knight of Pentacles, followed by the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. I feel like Taurus, if you choose to stay connected to this person in whatever capacity, because that's, you make your own choices. I feel like there's something that you're going to be pushing towards that this person may feel a little bit resentful. Like, why are you cleaning up that room when you should be helping me clean up this room I just destroyed? But I feel like there's something about the joy and the persistence that you utilize to go towards whatever this new beginning is, right? It's like you guys are the, like, when it comes to like being persistent and consistent and being able to put in that work every day, right? It's almost like the best possible outcome of having kind of a stubborn nature. And I want to be clear, okay? A lot of signs are stubborn, right? But your stubbornness turns into persistence. It's like persistence combined with belief in yourself to push through things, right? So it's like that's what the stubbornness becomes for you. And I feel like this person may feel like it's almost like they feel like you should be giving more to them. And I feel like when they see you start to do these sorts of things, they realize how selfish they were being. It's almost like they realize that they kind of have to leave their ego and their pride at the door and learn. And I'm going to be honest, if this person, from what I'm seeing right now in the cards, I feel like this person starts to assimilate to who you are rather than who they were. You know what I mean? It's like if ever you have been around, I mean, as I say this, I realize that I'm talking to a bunch of Taurus people, okay? But if for those of us that are on the outside looking in at what a Taurus brings to the table, there really is kind of nothing that can dissuade you in the long run, right? And a lot of people can charge towards something and have these little goals along the way. But a lot of people, myself included, sometimes we have a whole bunch of progress at the beginning and then we kind of fall off because we lose that consistency that you guys seem to excel at. And I feel like this person ends up looking at it like they could have been making this type of progress all along. And I feel like they start to emulate a lot of the things that you do. And it's almost the difference between, like, sometimes people say that when people first start to have money, if it's like the first generation with a lot of money, they tend to show off. Not everybody, right? But, but when people have like a stupid amount of money, right? Like, what was it? Can't quite remember what they said, but millionaires show off, billionaires don't. It's that type, like, I'm neither, right? So I don't know, but it's that type of an energy, right? And it's like you're the billionaire and they're the millionaire, and I feel like they're going to try to show off to show you that they are, it's almost like that they're doing everything that they should have been doing the whole time. I'm reminded of this goes way, 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 way back to when I was very, very young. A friend of mine, her grandfather passed away, and her grandmother, like just the most amazing people. And I remember I went to the grandparents' house after he had passed, and there were these, the tall yogurt or ice cream containers over top of the plants. And I was like, oh, what is that? And my friend said, oh, my grandma and my grandpa used to argue about that all the time, and my grandma would never let him do it. And now that he's passed, she's doing it. And I don't know why that's the example that's coming to mind, but it's that type of an energy, right? Not that you've passed, obviously. But it's that type of a thing, right? It's almost like if you have already left this person, they seem to be somebody that tried to bring you in by appealing to your better nature, appealing to you as being someone that needed your help. And I feel like that didn't work. So it's like now they've gone back to the drawing board and they're coming in, and I feel like it does feel like you're genuinely happy that they're doing better. But there's still something that seems to be ego-based about them that is kind of blocking you from turning around and really noticing this person. What can Taurus expect next? What does Taurus need to know about what's coming next with this person? I'm going to be honest. I don't think this person's going to give up easy. You may be annoyed by that. You may not. But the Chariot talks about that discipline, self-determination, going back to that consistency, right? And in this card specifically, I absolutely adore this deck. I'm going to get a little sentimental here. It was the first deck that I ever bought. And I loved it because of the imagery was so beautiful. But then I ended up having to get the Rider-Waite just to kind of like learn the meanings of the cards and all that sort of stuff better, because this was a bit divergent. Anyway, I went off on a tangent there. Any whoozle. I feel like this person, they do seem to have this determination to, again, go back to the drawing board, improve, and then come back in. They do seem to be quite motivated to get your attention, and it almost gets to a point where it's like, even if there's no longer a possibility for there to be a romantic connection between the two of you, this person still wants to, it's like they want you to know that you've changed them. It's like, listen, I really got to give it to this person. A lot of people that might start an energy like this don't make it to where this person's headed, right? It's like, not only do they want to make the changes, they want you to know that it's because of you, right? It's like they want to give credit where credit is due. It's almost like even if there's no possibility for a romantic connection, this person, it's like they want you to know, it feels like they want to give you that gift. They see it that way, that like being around you, being in your presence, your habits and that sort of thing really did rub off on this person. And they use that as a catalyst to be better. I feel like you're going to see this person excel. So can we pull, where will Taurus be in relation to this person? And what all happens? So, oh wow, we have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck with the Eight of Coins or Eight of Pentacles reversed. I feel like when this person comes back around to kind of let you know that you're the reason they improved, or at the very least you were the catalyst, but I feel like they would tell you that you're the reason. It actually feels like it comes at a time when it feels like things are slipping through your fingers, when it feels like, if ever you have been in a situation in your life, part of me hopes that you haven't, but where it's like all of a sudden things start falling apart. And it's almost that energy of like, if you say that things can't get any worse, then like, well, they do. They find a way, right? And it's almost like a lot of the facets in your life, it just feels like things are starting to get disorganized. Things are falling apart. People aren't understanding each other. It just feels like there's this cluster F that's happening. And I feel like this person coming in almost renews your faith in yourself. And it's like, it's not that you lost faith in yourself. It just feels like you had all of your ducks in a row. Let's say, for example, you had a bunch of rubber ducks in the water, and it's like somebody started throwing a whole bunch of stones and the ducks just kind of got scattered everywhere, right? And you're like, where are those stones coming from? How am I going to get all these ducks together? It just feels like everything's kind of got blown apart here. And in the midst of all of that, this person comes in. And I feel like them saying whatever they're saying seems to pull you out of that kind of chaotic energy. And I want to be clear, it doesn't feel like that chaotic energy is coming from you. It feels like it's a reaction, like a normal response to, like it's chaos energy around you rather than originating with you. And I feel like it's almost like you could be in the middle of a whirlwind, right? And at first you're kind of like, why is there a cow like being whizzing by my head? And if you've seen The Wizard of Oz, right? And I feel like there's something about the situation with this person that seems to, it's almost like something sucks all the energy out of the air and everything falls. Not everything falls apart and all this sort of stuff even further, but it's like, it brings whatever that chaos was to like a full stop. And I feel like it's almost like you're able to kind of survey what's really going on. Oh, Taurus. I feel like there's going to be some affection that you develop towards this person. You may not want to hear that, but especially with the Lovers and the Magician. Look at this. With the Page of Wands. I'm going to be honest. I feel like there is some potential here between the two of you, if it's something you both want. It does feel that it's more going to be like, it starts off as that mutual respect between two people. It's almost like, whereas this person may have been on a different level than you when it came to self-discipline and determination, I feel like the two of you are on similar playing fields. It actually feels like this person may have a slight advantage, hang on, because they haven't been in that energy as long, and they seem to be coming at it with a fresh perspective. So, I think we're going to pull one more card just looking at which deck we're going to use. 1 second here. Can I get a card for what does Taurus need to know about the situation in the future between them and this person? What does Taurus need to know? That's really interesting. We have the Knight of Swords reversed here, and the Knight, this is the Son of Swords, and the Father and the King. Wow. So, what do you need to know? We have the Three of Pentacles with the Three of Wands. So the threes talk about manifestation, right? That's the card of the Empress, which of course is your card. It feels like the way this connection starts off, because for some of you, depending on what both of you want or each of you want, this may develop as a friendship and stay that way, right? It depends on what each of you want at the time. So I feel like when this person comes in and tells you, that you were the catalyst for their change, it doesn't feel like they're going to put romance on it initially, from what I'm seeing. But I feel like seeing them again and seeing them do so well, it's almost like you kind of can't help but feel there's something about the eye contact that makes you, kind of get the warm and fuzzies, which is very different from when there was some, indifference. And I feel like, or, kind of not really wanting them. It feels like there's this initial spark, but for what I'm seeing, I feel like there's enough going on when this person initially comes back around that you kind of put a pin in it because there's other things that you have to handle. So I do kind of feel that there is something that seems to transpire energetically between the two of you, but it feels like not only are you not in a place where that's something that you can explore, I'm not so sure this person is either, and it's more like they feel like they have to do more work on themselves first. So with that said, Taurus, I know this reading's getting really long. I apologize. If this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful. If you like what I do, please like, comment, subscribe. I do have the, if you're new here, welcome. I do have the mini love reads that come out every Sunday, and then I have a bit of longer reads that come out during the week. Usually it's Tuesdays for Taurus. And I have the November 2023 monthly love readings coming out next week. So please keep an eye out for those if you're so inclined. And private readings will hopefully be opened in the next couple of weeks. I'm just going to get through some midterms and I will post about it here. So that's it for today. Much love. Bye.